for a democracy. Fighting for a democracy. And understand the difference here. Understand the difference here moving forward.
When they asked her about the gun.
Yes.
And she, I got a Glock. What kind?
Yes.
And her answer was,
Yeah.
And Those were invented by nervous white people around black people.
Tyrus just put Kamala Harris in the hot seat, and let's be real, she's been warming it up for years with awkward speeches, nervous biggles, and answers that sound like riddles no one asked for. This isn't just another political clapback. This is a heavyweight roast where Tyrus dismantles the endless word salads, the misplaced laughter, and the painfully staged inspirational moments. If you thought Kamala's speeches were confusing before, wait until you hear how Tyrus unpacks them. After this, you'll never hear her the same way again.
And the VP Harris, she won't go to the border, probably because she'd rather take the magic school bus to the moon.
You guys are gonna see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
Oh my goodness.
With your own eyes, I'm telling you, it is gonna be unbelievable.
With your own eyes.
Before we go any further, smash that like button and subscribe, because you don't want to miss this one. Kamala Harris is proof that failing upwards isn't just possible. It's apparently a career strategy. Forget Elon Musk launching rockets. She's the only person in history who managed to launch herself into the vice presidency with nothing but cackles, word salads, and a smile that screams, "Yes, I rehearsed this in the mirror."
President Kamala Harris getting mocked and criticized once again after dishing out another one of her now notoriously scrambled responses, which her critics have taken to calling a word salad. The vice president was meeting with the Jamaican prime minister, for example, when she blurted this out.
For Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic. So to that end, we are announcing today also that we will assist Jamaica in COVID.
It's almost like America asked, what's the worst audition tape for leadership we could possibly approve? And Kamala walked in with a resume that reads like a fever dream. Prosecutor turned politician turned whatever it is she's supposed to be now. Sure, the vice presidency is mostly symbolic, but Kamala somehow turned it into performance art. Every time she speaks, it feels less like a policy statement and more like the opening scene of a sitcom nobody wanted to greenlight.
So I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we...
And then there's the laugh. That nervous, jittery cackle is less confident stateswoman, and more middle schooler caught cheating on a test, hoping a joke will make it all go away. She could be asked about a global crisis, and instead of a serious response, she delivers a laugh straight out of a backyard barbecue blooper reel. Imagine being in a meeting with world leaders, and the soundtrack suddenly shifts into a Joker audition tape. Kamala talks like she's stuck in a never-ending job interview for a role she never read the posting for. She strings words together like riddles in real time, forgetting she's the one who wrote them. Listening to her is like cracking open a fortune cookie written by ChatGPT on 1% battery. You keep waiting for the point to land, but instead, it drifts into a TED Talk about absolutely nothing.
Do you regret not voicing your opinion in that moment?
Yes, and I actually have reflected on that, and I've written about that. I realized.
Would it have mattered if you did?
I don't know.
And this is the person one heartbeat away from the Oval Office. The plan was that she'd bring charisma, relatability, and inspiration to the ticket. Instead, she brought Google Translate on shuffle mode. Watching her speeches is like hearing someone hit shuffle on a playlist called Corporate Buzzwords 2008. Words like moment, importance, future, together, and then boom, another cackle. Speech over. It's not harmless awkwardness. It's incompetence in a pantsuit. Look at her record. 1 minute cracking down on truancy like it's terrorism. The next, reinventing herself as the cool auntie. That's not political growth. That's costume changes.
I thought it was amazing that no one asked. You told the American people that President Biden was better than he ever was, and you couldn't keep up with him. And then he gets pulled out of the race because he has dementia. So on the record, you are saying that a old man with dementia, or whatever they want to call it, outworked you. And you were even the last person in the room. So why are you running for president again?
And let's not forget the 2020 campaign. She came in with fanfare, rallies, and promises of being the historic candidate. But voters quickly said, yeah, no thanks. Her presidential run collapsed faster than crypto. She didn't even make it to the primaries. Yet somehow, instead of disappearing, she was handed the vice presidency, as if spectacular failure was a resume builder in D.C. Her big assignment? The border crisis. Her solution? Do everything except actually visit the border. It was like appointing a lifeguard who sets up their chair 3 blocks away from the pool.
Moving forward, she couldn't move forward from that sentence. My IQ moved backward.
Kamala Harris is basically that group project partner who does none of the work but insists on giving the presentation. She rambles incoherently, laughs like she nailed it, and then leaves the team with a failing grade. If politics had Yelp reviews, hers would read, showed up, didn't deliver, laughed a lot, would not recommend. Her approval ratings are lower than dial-up internet speeds. And her speeches play more like Saturday Night Live sketches than serious policy. Sending her to meet world leaders feels like sending the class clown to negotiate with the principal.
There's worse things that you can say to people.
Yeah.
But I help people who harm people. God bless, good night, that's my time. That's what.
I think it's an excellent thing to acknowledge to a therapist.
Yes.
And here's the kicker. She was supposed to be the future of the Democratic Party, the rising star, the trailblazer. Instead, she's the cautionary tale. She's the flashy gadget that breaks after one use. Shiny box, no substance. If mediocrity had a patron saint, Kamala Harris would have been canonized yesterday. She's not breaking barriers. She's tripping over them, then laughing like it was intentional. At this point, her biggest accomplishment is making late-night comedy writers obsolete.
I don't think Kamala will ever hold public office again.
Better not.
I don't think you can come back from. It wasn't that she was outfoxed.
Lost,
it wasn't that she lost. I think you can certainly lose an election and run a good election and still.
Kamala might think she's building her brand for the future, but history won't remember her as Madam Vice President. She'll be remembered as the word salad queen, the woman who cackled her way into office and laughed whenever responsibility knocked. It's not that she's controversial, it's that she's awkward. Painfully awkward. She could describe water and make it confusing. Then, right when you think she might land the point, she resets with that laugh. That high-pitched sitcom side character laugh.
She never saw the video.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not someone who describes a video.
Yeah.
That's someone that they handed this to her, and she was like, elephants? Oh, I'll take it from here. And then she went out there. And she was not drunk. She was hungover, because she's way worse when she's hungover. That was hungover because she kept saying the same thing over and over again.
Her defenders say the criticism is unfair because she's a woman of color. But no, the issue isn't identity, it's competence, or the lack of it. Kamala has the political instincts of a malfunctioning GPS, always recalculating, never arriving. People cringe not because of who she is, but because of how she talks, like she's addressing a room of interns forced to clap. No warmth, no authenticity, just scrambled lines dressed up as speeches. Her 2020 campaign staff even admitted they didn't know what she stood for. Imagine having to Google your own candidate's platform. That's Kamala.
They surrounded, and then they formed a circle. And then they got together. Go the away.
And yet, that was enough to make her vice president. Not because she earned it, but because the party wanted a historic pick. And historic it was, just not in the way they intended. On the world stage, she turned serious meetings into global comedy tours. Every clip abroad feels like an SNL skit. Her cooking videos are awkward, her photo ops staged, her attempts at relatability painful. She has the charisma of an AI-generated influencer with a glitch.
So powerful at the convention when you said you have guns. No, at the debate. At the debate.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun owner.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot. Sorry.
Yes. I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
I'm talking about the first time I've ever seen Oprah Winfrey stutter.
Yeah.
She was like, what she wanted to say, remember that stupid you said at the, was it the debate or was it the DNC that they drew me out and Stedman's pissed, he was double parked waiting for this. Like she literally said nothing. She's like, if Oprah can't save you, nobody can save you.
Her approval ratings prove it. They're not low because of unfair targeting. They're low because no one is buying what she's selling. She doesn't inspire love or hate. She inspires apathy, and apathy is political death. Her speeches are their own comedy genre, full of repeated words and empty circles. She couldn't survive the 2020 primaries. She can't break 40% approval, and yet she's still considered next in line. She's not the story of meritocracy. She's the story of box checking and optics over substance.
You know what happened, Greg? The teleprompter went up and they cheered too long.
Yeah.
And she panicked because all she couldn't remember the connection word. So she panicked. This ain't close, I'm telling you.
And maybe that's the real takeaway. Kamala isn't the outlier. She's the blueprint for modern politics. Competence doesn't get rewarded. Image does. Except her image isn't that of a strong leader. It's of a confused camp counselor stalling before the bus arrives. She wanted to be the moment, but instead, she became the meme. Kamala Harris will go down not as the trailblazer she imagined, but as the punchline. The case study of how not to lead, how not to inspire, and how not to connect.